Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. I'm on to make some journal cards with you guys. So I have this book here. A lot of us have found books in this series. This is the bulbs one, but there are many others. There's like lawn and ground covers, there's trees, there's perennials, annuals, all sorts of different ones in the series, and they have the most beautiful pictures in them. And a long time ago now, I did harvest one or two of the books and cut all the pictures out that have just been sitting around, and I thought it's about time I did something with them. And I do want to start stocking up on some ephemera for future journals. So yes, I thought I'd show you quickly one of the books so you know what books I'm talking about. So it's these beautiful ones that have these beautiful square pictures or rectangle pictures. And they're double-sided pages, so you've got to argue about which side you want to use, which is annoying. Look at that picture. Love it. They're the most beautiful pictures for the middle of your signatures, those ones. So, I have this little pocket here, and since I've been organising my craft room, which is always an ongoing project, isn't it? I have moved a lot of my scraps and that into the new trolley that I bought, which is closer, and they're sort of out in the open now. I'm hoping that will get me using them more, and these were sitting in that, as were some of the other bits I'm using, which is good. So I have a stack of them here, the cutouts. Look at them all. There's only one or two of the books. I've got another 10 or, every time I find them cheap, I grab them. So probably got one or two of everyone in the series, except for the real boring ones. So yes, I've just grabbed a couple to do because I don't want to bore you by making too many with you. I think you'll get the gist if I just do a couple with you and then do the rest off camera. So I've grabbed a few of the small ones just because I have these book pages. Now these pages I found in my bag of scrappy bits that I want to get using. These are, I didn't even know I'd kept these. On my channel, going way back, I did make a tunnel book. It was sort of like a tropical thing with a flamingo and flowers and stuff. A tunnel book thing. And I had to cut all the pages out. Yeah, and so I kept all the pages, which is really weird because I've got so many books. Yeah, but I did keep them. So I thought it'd be good to get using some of these. So I have been trying to use these so far to make my journal cards. But I am running out of the sizes that I need, so we'll see how we go. Okay, so we will get started. And we will see what size pages we need. So I've been doubling these up just to make them a bit more sturdy. So I think that one's going to fit nicely on these. So we will stick these two together. So I'm just using my glue stick to put the pages together. Making a mess on my desk, as I do. And I'll put that to the side, so we'll do the 3. So that fits pretty good too. Good to use up these pages. So when you see this, it'll probably just have gone New Year's, be the week after New Year's, no doubt. I'm doing it just before New Year's, trying to get ahead in my video making. I do that on occasion, but it doesn't take long for me to get behind again. And that was that one, and then we've got this one that's a bit thicker. I think I want some wider pages for that one. work. So we want 2 of those. So yes, I'll be having a quiet New Year's, which is the way I like it. Although sometimes I open the door at midnight just to hear everyone, so to hear how many illegal fireworks are going off around the town. And dogs barking and that sort of thing. Hopefully I'll be having a crafty time for New Year's. I think my son is going out to a friend's house for a bit of a get-together, which is great. Which means I get the house to myself, which doesn't happen very often. Right. So these are really, really simple. That's the way I like it. I can manage simple. So now I'm just cutting the word off the bottom, or the name of the plant. And then I'm just checking and seeing if I need to straighten up my previous cutting, because it was, when I cut them out, it was pretty quick and rough. I don't mind if it's a bit crooked, but sometimes it's a bit wider border than what I want. So just neaten it up a bit. That's not too bad. So I want to stick that where I want it on here. And for that, I'm going to use my tacky glue. Now, I'll probably end up sewing around the edge of the whole journal card, but I'm not going to sew this on, and that's why I'm using tacky glue for this bit, because I don't trust stick glue for some reason. So I'm just placing it so you can see a bit of the writing or the text all around the flower picture. And we'll just let that dry and do the other 2. Oh, now I'm putting my little name with that one so we don't get the names mixed up, because I will use that. Put that one to the side to dry, and we'll go back to the first one we did now. So we're going to trim down. I think I'll just take the common name. Says begonia. Isn't it begonia? Anyway, we'll take that, whatever it says. Who am I to argue? And I'm using a bit of the bottom of the book page or whatever that I've ripped off previously. And I'm going to back it onto that. For this, I will need my tweezers. Had any sense, I'd be doing them all, but then I'd forget which one goes on which plant, so I'll do it one at a time so I don't get confused. Now, previously I haven't inked around these. I was trying not to ink things too much, but I might just put a tad of ink on this and see. will stand out a bit more. Hard to tell. Okay, so we're going to put that down. And then I'll grab my ruler and we'll do a bit of ripping here. I could leave it as big as it is up the top and rip it about the same down there, and then just rip this side off. I think that'll do for that one. Doesn't matter if it's a bit crooked and that. I'm keeping these quite rough and rustic. I'm keeping my scraps. So now, while we've got this one here, we won't ink it yet. We'll do that afterwards because we've still got another step, but we'll repeat those processes with these two. Do that'll probably do for that one. It's looking pretty good. Right, next step, we need to put some backing on them. So what I have is in my scrap trolley, I have these sized blank scrappy pieces. You know what us junk journalists do, we arrange our scraps in sizes and types. So I have a scrap bin, which is a big tub that has all your little scraps that are great for collaging. But if there's sort of square-like scraps like this that I think would be good for backing tags and journaling cards, then I put them in this bag. So I've got lined ones as well, but I thought we would do blank ones for these. So yeah, it's a bit like mangled, this one. I don't know if I want to use it on there or not. And then we've got, that's just about right for these ones. I sort of want rough edges too, although it doesn't matter if some of the edges aren't rough. So if I rip this one in half, that's pretty well what we want for on there. It will do anyway. And it's got a rough edge up the top there, so that'll work. It's a bit long, so we might just shorten it down here a bit. Then we'll do the same. This one, we might just shorten this one. Rubbish out the way. Isn't that rubbish? Okay, so that's the backing for those two done. Now, that's a bit wider. That looks pretty good. Oh, we've got that, which is even better. Might just make it a bit shorter. It's going to be a bit neat, but that's all right. Sometimes when it's a bit neat like that, I try and rip down close, but then I make a big mess of it, so that'll do. All right, so there are backing pieces. Now I do ink around those. And then we're going to stick the 3 of these down. Okay, so I've done that part of the backing. Now before I forget, I'm going to go around the outside of both sides of my journal cards with ink. I'm just using vintage photo here. Now just for a pop of colour on the back, I'm using some of my, go figure, my colour fly page scraps. Of course I get a lot of scraps of this because, as you know, if you've been watching me for a while, I use these in everything. So I'm just trying to grab colours that complement. So this is sort of pinkish, so that can go with the pink. That's bluish, that can go with the blue. And then for that one, I'll use a green. Should I go dark green this time? I used a lighter. No, I think I'll stick to the lighter. It's a pretty colour and it's scrappy, so we'll use it up. So on the back here, I'm just ripping some of this. This is just it's not even a fly page, this. It's just a bit of a pamphlet. But it was coloured paper, so I just stuck it in there. So I'm just ripping this, like so. Stuff stuck to me everywhere. Giving it some rough edges. And then sticking that down. So very simple journal cards, but I figure these are type of journal cards that anyone could make, and you don't need a lot to make them. You know, just your old book page paper, your pretty pictures out of your botanical book, or you could use pictures out of any book really. Bit of scrap plain paper, and then some coloured paper to finish them off. And as I said, I will do a whole heap of these and then sew around them to just finish them off and make them look a bit prettier, hopefully. So we'll do the same on this one. You could like run some down the side if you want to change it up or whatever. You don't have to put them all on the bottom, but at the moment that's what I'm doing. Might change it up when I've made like 100 of them or something and I get bored. And it depends on how you rip the paper, of course, to what sort of look you're going to get. I kind of like seeing the whiteness on this project of the ripped paper. Although with some of them I do ink it up a bit as well. ripped that one a bit short, but we'll make it work. Actually, hang on, will it work better if I put it that way? No. So these are the ones that I've done so far, which includes the ones that we just did together. So I'm going to make some more of these. So I think what I'll do is end this video there, make some more of these, and then I might come back on and do another little project with these flower pictures and book pages. And do a whole heap of them as well, and then I can sew it all together and we can see what it all looks like when we're finished. Just makes sense to do it all the sewing in one hit, so because I will be changing colours in and out of the machine, which can be painful, so I'd rather get all of them done and then sew them all at once. So that's a heaps fun project to do with those pictures, and I love the way it looks. They are glossy pictures, and I have inked them up before and that sort of thing, but I don't really like the way they look when you ink them up because of the gloss and that. But I really like the way they look with the inked up sort of vintage book page background. I think they look really nice. So yeah, I like that. So I hope you enjoyed that quick little project. I shall be on in a couple of days to do another one with you, and I will sew them all and we'll see what they look like all finished. Take care of yourselves. Be good. See you soon.